Howdy, Wildcats. Welcome to a wild Friday, September 15th. Today we're going to be looking at composition of functions, and that's going to be on page 10. A little note here. Your test is coming up. It's going to be on Wednesday, September 20th. That's a Wednesday, so start getting ready for that. All right, so with that, update your table of contents. All right, now your table of contents are updated. Let's take a look at our notes today. And again, on page 10. Okay, so today we're looking at composition of functions. Okay, so this is known as fog and golf. So this says f of g equals f g of x. Okay, now equals x, and this says g of f equals g of f of x equals x. Now, if the composition of f of g and g of f, they're both equal to x, we know the result of fog and golf is x, then f of x and g of x are inverses, okay? So when you do f of g and g of f and you get x for both, then we know that the functions are inverses, okay? So if you would pause and update your notes. All right, now your notes are updated. Let's take a look at the examples. And the examples are on page 10. And let me remind, because again, I've seen this a lot, is that in your journal, I only want the example page and the note page. So it should go in this order. Notes, and then examples, okay? All right, so let's take a look at some of the examples. Okay, it says determine if the functions are inverses of each other using composition of functions. Okay, and you know what? It might help if I use some colors. So let me go get two colors, and you might do the same. So go run and get two colors, and then come right. Let's meet back in 18 seconds, okay? All right, look at that. 18 seconds later. All right, so to kind of help distinguish this a little bit, let's do F in yellow and G in blue. Those are the colors I'm using. You use different colors, okay? So to do F of G, so that's F of G equals 2. Now, basically what you're doing is you're putting in G of X into F of X. So you're putting in 1/2 X minus 3 over 2, or divided by 2, in for X. So that's parentheses 1/2 X minus 3 divided by 2 plus 3. All right, so now we simplify. So that's 2 times 1/2 is 1x. 2 times -3, that's -6, divided by 2, which is -3, plus 3. Now, the -3 and the +3 cancel, so you're left with 1x. Okay, so far, these could be inverses because we get 1x, okay? So now, let's do g of f. Now, cowboy and cowgirl Wildcats, if you're stressed out a little bit, no worries. I'm going to go over, if need to, this example again in class, and so we can talk about it and you can discuss questions, okay? But I want you to be, again, keyword, familiar with what's going to happen tomorrow in class, okay? All right, so now we're putting f of x into g. So that's 1/2, okay, parentheses 2x plus 3 minus 3 divided by 2. Hey, you. Yeah, put your phone down. No, not you. You. Put your phone down, okay? Pay attention. All right, thank you. All right, so equals, all right, so now we simplify. So 1/2 times 2 is 1x. 1/2 times 3 is plus 3 divided by 2. And then minus 3 divided by 2. Well, those cancel, you get 1x. So since f of g is equal to 1x and g of f equals 1x, we can say that f of x and g of x are inverses. Okay. All right. So now let's take a look at the next example. Let's take a look at example 3. All right. So again, I'm going to color code. F of x is yellow, g of x is blue. All right. So we're going to do f of g All right, and what that's saying is we're going to put in g of x into f of x. So that's negative 3 divided by 2 times 1/2 x plus 3 divided by 2 plus 4. All right, so negative 3 halves times 1/2 is negative 3 divided by 4 x. That's negative 9 fourths and then plus 4. Okay, we can see that these aren't going to cancel. That's not going to reduce to 1. So you can stop here because they have to both be x. Since this is not going to be x, we can say that f of x and g of x are not inverses. All right, so there you go. That should familiarize yourself with using composition of functions to determine if the functions are inverses. Okay, so with that, have a wonderful Wild West Wildcat